But starting with Mendoza, then, because again, both of our QB ones at this point in the summer, spring, I guess you could even say, I was blown away by because, like, again, Cam Ward does some cool stuff pre-snap, and obviously he knows what he's looking at post-snap. But again, in the Cristobal offense, like pretty heavily air raid, he wasn't tasked with a lot of pre-snap responsibilities.
Right.
None of these quarterbacks this past class really were. What I was blown away was just how quickly Mendoza was picking things up pre-snap, how quickly his eyes were reactive post-snap. That NC State game, I've broken it down like all over my Substack. I think I even posted on that clip on Twitter. But like, there's a play side screen to the trip side and a backside alert post, and he like recognizes this as zero. I'm just flipping my hips and throwing the post. Like stuff like that is what blows me away with Mendoza. On top of the silly arm talent. I mean, he can drive the ball like crazy. And then he's a pretty, I'd say probably like a high 4.6, low 4.7 athlete with the ball in his hand too. Like,
probably whatever Shuck ran this past year. Probably very similar to that kind of running style.
Pretty creative off platform, pretty good stuff. What was it that drew you to Fernando Mendoza when you were working through those 5-6 games?
Yeah, when I first watch a guy, I want to see, well, first off, tools. So I'm like, all right, height, weight, okay, check, we're good there. A little skinny, but we can work with that. But it's watching him. How do you win from the pocket? And all right, so I watch you. How do you operate from the pocket? I'm glad you brought up the pre-snap stuff too, because his awareness. I'm hoping a Cal quarterback has some intelligence to him. So you don't want to assume every time, but I was assuming that he'd be okay. And you're exactly right. I thought. What really stood out to me was there's interceptions on his record. He doesn't make mental mistakes, at least consistently so. And actually, and these are some of the things, as you know, as you're charting, but as the stuff kind of washes over you and you start watching 2, 3, 4, 5 games, those mistakes or the bad plays really start sticking out. Oh, this happened because of this. This happened because of this. Okay, that's a theme to your bad plays. Mendoza's bad plays was like, okay, I threw an interception against a robber, but guess what? That's where the read took me. And I could see why he threw that ball because, okay, I got to get it out, but the robber got me. They caught me there. But it wasn't a panicked decision. There was process to the bad decision, but the process was sound. How he got there, the result ended up being not great, but I understood why he got there. So watching him win from the pocket, I was like, oh, okay. And then, like you say, the arm talent. How he operated on 3rd and 4th down.
Yes.
That's what really stood out to me. And that speaks to what you're talking about, the awareness and the pre-snap stuff. Him against Pitt on 3rd down and 4th down. It was so much fun to watch a college quarterback running real deal drop back concepts. I'm like 3rd and 15, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 9.
That Pitt game, a 3rd and 15, he's got a laser
glance route or a dig, or a post, like a skinny post, right? Yeah. Oh my God, against the blitz, and he's diagnosing the cover zeros. He throws hot a couple times in that game where they ran like a true sight adjust, and that shows awareness where he knows where the blitz is coming from. So I was like, okay, you can win from the pocket. I think, like you said, he's a good enough athlete. Really, the guy that comes to mind when I watch him is Matt Ryan, because he's so long and skinny. Matt had a little, and I wouldn't say it's an elongated motion, but they have long levers, they have long arms, so it's just going to look longer, but he's so quick twitched that it just gets out quick. Like Matt Ryan was a 3rd baseman, like an all-state 3rd baseman, so hot corner, getting the ball out and quick. I think Mendoza has that same quality, even though he's longer. So like when I was watching those plays, that's what stood out. And then you get into that traits, the athleticism stuff, and like you said, he has some creativity throwing off platform. He's tough as hell. Like this guy's a warrior all the way, which also that's another comparison to Matt Ryan as well. But the last thing too is speaking to like the awareness and just I had this game. I originally watched it TV copy and then all 22. On the TV copy, it's the end of the Wake Forest game, and they're in a 4-minute drill, meaning burning out the clock, milking the clock. And he runs for a 1st down on like a zone read. And this sequence is also really weird because I went back to watch it. I have every game on TV from college football saved on my YouTube TV. So I'm going back and watching, and there's like a cutout after this play happens. So I still don't know what happened, but he gets the 1st down. He gets up and he goes down. Like he doesn't run for a touchdown. He just goes down after he gets the 1st down, and he looks at the coaches like, victory. Like we're taking a knee. We're under 2 minutes. They only have They only have 1-2 timeouts. Like victory. The Cal coaches run the ball with him after, even though the quarterback was correct. They could have just taken a knee and iced the game. They end up scoring and they're fine and everything. But that just stood out to me. I was like, this redshirt sophomore knows clock management better than his Cal coaches. And I know it's a little thing, but if this guy ends up having a great year, I'm going to be telling that story 100 times this next year, because that those little things. I know it's just little things I'm extrapolating, but that just showed like this guy gets ball. Like this guy has a football IQ. So it's just, yeah, that's what stands out to me. This guy is a supreme pocket operator.
Yeah. Again, a kid who was committed to Yale before Cal came along late too. So like,
I know you told me that. And I was like, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Makes a ton of sense. So like, just a brilliant kid. So I'm glad I'm not alone on my mountain, my Fernando Mendoza mountain. That's probably a good healthy amount of Fernando Mendoza discourse. We have
the Indiana offense will be fun too. So
we'll
just keep
we should
on how good
we
this
should
is
talk
going
a
to
little
be.
bit the transfer.
I also why we want to get in early on this, because I think by the time October hits, everyone's go for why is Fernando Mendoza's got 18 touchdowns through 5 weeks? Like, who is this guy? Like, I'm excited in that off. Did you hear him interview about that too? Why you went to Indiana?
Well, I think his brother's the backup quarterback there, so I know his parents have a good relationship with Signetti. Yeah,
that helps. So he actually said, and this was really cool. It was, it was the Indiana YouTube or whatever. And I don't know how I came across it. I probably searched his name or something. And he was talking about, and they're like, "Oh, why'd you pick Indiana?" Some kids will always say like, "Oh, the environment and like the fans and all that." And he goes, "Development. I want to go with these coaches because they coach this guy in the NFL, this guy in the NFL, and this guy in the NFL. And the only guy that he hasn't coached that's not in the NFL is Curtis Rourke." And he's like, "Have you guys watched Curtis Rourke? He's a badass." And I was like, "That's such a good answer." I'm like, check. Yeah. So, but I was like, but again, once people go, "Why do you go to Indiana?" I already had someone text me and goes, "Well, he's at Indiana. Who cares? Why didn't you go to a big school?" It's like, he could have. It's just that there was a reason he went to Indiana. And I was like, yeah, he's checking a lot of boxes for me. So I'm very excited to watch this year.
Again, Georgia, Miami were both and he's from Miami. Like, he could have just gone to Miami.
And Mario Cristobal's Cuban American too. Like, I mean, that should have been an easy connection for him.
Right. Right.